Ni hao. Hello in Mandarin Chinese. Welcome to Chinese Home Cooking Weeknight Show. To celebrate the Chinese New Year, the Year of Snake, which starts on February 10th, we are going to have a series of 5 Chinese New Year special shows. Our demonstration today is vegetarian steamed dumplings. Steaming dumplings is one of several ways that dumplings can be cooked. Chinese New Year is the most important of the traditional Chinese holidays, which is equivalent to Christmas here in the US. Chinese New Year falls on different dates each year, a date between January 1st and February 20th. The Chinese New Year celebration is often associated with elaborate dinners, dumpling makings, reunion gatherings, fireworks, and dragon dance parade. Outside of China, Chinese New Year celebration takes place in several countries. In the Philippines, Chinese New Year is a special non-working holiday for the country. In Indonesia, Chinese New Year is a national day. The biggest celebrations in the Southeast Asia take place in Malaysia and Singapore. In other parts of the world, cities with significant Chinese population celebrate Chinese New Year. London, San Francisco, and Sydney, Australia claim to host the largest Chinese New Year celebration outside of Asia. Many also celebrate Chinese New Year in Chinatown in Calcutta, India. Now, before we start, let's take a look at what we need for the dish.
Here's the list of ingredients.
Before we start cooking, let's work on the preparation of ingredients. Here are dumpling wraps, 14 ounces, about 60 pieces. The green color comes from spinach juice added into the dough. You shouldn't have problem of finding the regular dumpling wraps in your local grocery store. Here's our dipping sauce, mixed with 4 cloves of freshly minced garlic, 3 tablespoons Chinese dark vinegar. You could use balsamic vinegar as the substitute, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon sesame oil. Mix it well. Here's the 1 ounce shiitake mushroom that's been rehydrated in hot water for 30 minutes and then drained. Remove the stand and chopped up in small pieces like this. 4 ounces onion, finely chopped. 4 ounces green pepper, finely chopped. 4 ounces carrots, finely chopped. We're going to marinate 4 eggs with half teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of Chinese cooking wine. You can use dry sherry as substitute, and mix well and to set aside to be used later. I am turning on my electric wok to 350 degrees, which is high heat for an electric stove, medium to high heat for a gas stove. We're adding 4 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm using corn oil. You can use any vegetable oil except for olive oil, as olive oil doesn't tolerate high heat too well. We're going to cook the oil for 1 minute until it heats up. It's been about a minute since we heated the oil. The oil is hot. We're adding the eggs to lightly cook for about a minute, and then remove the eggs. It's been about a minute. The eggs are lightly cooked, and we are breaking up the eggs and remove the eggs from the wok. We have removed the scrambled eggs from the wok, and right now we're adding 3 tablespoons cooking oil to let it heat for 1 minute until it heats up. It's been a minute since we add our 3 tablespoons cooking oil. The oil is hot. We're going to cook the mushroom first for about a minute. It's been about a minute since we add the mushrooms. We're now adding the onion to cook for a minute. It's been a minute since we add onion. Now we're adding the carrots to cook for a minute. It's been a minute since we add the carrots. We're adding green pepper to cook for 1 minute. It's been a minute since we add green pepper. We are adding back our previous cooked eggs, and to cook for 1 minute. Make sure the eggs mix well with the rest of the ingredients, and then breaking the eggs up into fine small pieces. It's been a minute since we add the eggs back in, and the eggs are mixed well with the rest of the ingredients and has been broken into smaller pieces. And this is done, and I'm turning off the heat and remove the food from the wok and let it cool for about 30 minutes until it's reached roughly about room temperature for our next step. Our cooked ingredients have been cooled to room temperature. Now we're going to mix with 2 eggs and the oyster sauce. And mix well. Now our fillings are ready to use. We are ready to make our dumplings now. Use a finger to wet the edges of the wrap about 1/4 inch. Then put a small amount of filling in the center. Shouldn't put too much, otherwise it's difficult to seal, and shouldn't exceed 1/3 of the diameter, and put the edge from both sides in the middle up and meet in the center to make a kiss, and then start making pleats. Up, down, up, down. The other side, up, down, and then double and fold the edges. Make sure they are securely sealed. There is our dumpling. We have finished the preparation and we are ready to cook now. I am turning on my electric wok to 400 degrees, which is the highest possible heat, and put 4 cups of water. And if you do not have a steamer, you could do what I do, use a steam rack, and then use a plate to sit on top of that, and I just put a wet paper towel to cover it up so that when it's steaming, the steam condensed on the towel and will not be on the bottom of the dumplings, so the dumplings will not get saggy. You can use a cabbage to be on the lay on the bottom, or you just can use lettuce, whatever, as long as there's something between the dumplings and the plate. Yeah, we're going to cover it up, and we're going to steam for 10 minutes after the water becomes boiling. Then it is done. It's been 10 minutes. Our dumplings are done. I'm turning off the heat. Remove the cover. Just be very careful. It's hot. And then remove the plate.
Let's have a quick review of what we've done. Here is the summary of time and cost.
I hope you will enjoy this dish. If you do, you may be interested in checking out the other 4 Chinese New Year special shows, which are pot stickers, boiled dumplings, sticky rice cake, last but not least, wonton soup. I wish you and your family the best in the year of snake. 再见. See you again in Mandarin Chinese.